I want to start with Where's Monkey, children's book. What could have possibly inspired you to write that?
Yeah, so Where's Monkey is about my cat named Monkey,
Uh-huh.
who, okay, so I gotta rewind just like a smidge. We were living in Massachusetts
Uh-huh.
for 5 years. We just moved back for a relocation for Nicole's job,
Mm-hmm.
which is great because moving to Massachusetts was the only time either one of us had lived outside of New Jersey. So to
Mm.
come back was awesome.
Yeah.
Massachusetts was great, don't get me wrong, but to come back to Jersey, our home state, was
Yeah.
amazing. Anyway, so we had just gotten back. It was like around this time, a little later, but around this time last year. And the first week that we moved into our new house in Milford, New Jersey, Hurricane Ida hit
Mm.
up on a mountain, and it takes like four um, telephone poles just to get like power and cable up to our house.
Oh wow.
That's how far we are from the road.
Oh my God.
Our driveway is literally, and I know how to use that word, literally a quarter of a mile long.
It's
So
not
like,
figuratively a quarter mile long.
no,
It
no,
is
no. I know, I
literally.
know, I know English and the English language, how it works. So yeah, our our driveway is literally a quarter of a mile long. So it takes like four telephone poles
Holy
to get
cow.
like power and internet and cable and stuff up to our house. And so that first week that we moved in, Hurricane Ida hit, a tree split in half, took out our wires.
Oh my
So we had no
goodness.
power for about, I think it was like 10 days.
10 days.
After which, like, I think like after five, Nicole and my daughter went to go with her parents, just so,
Mm-hmm.
so they had hot
Right.
water and power and stuff. And I stayed around with the animals. But the very next day, our cat Monkey got out of the house, and like
Oh,
we didn't see him leave. Like we don't know what door he went out. Nobody. He just, like, one day for dinner, he just didn't come out, and it was like, what is going on?
right.
And then he was gone for 22 days. During those 22 days, I was a wreck.
I'm
I'm
sure.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. Like, you know, people, like 90% of the people have pets,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think. And when you talk about, and like when other people talk about their kids, and then the people that have only pets are like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I know, my cat
Right.
does this, or my,
Right. Right.
those, the people with kids look at the people with pets and like, shut up,
Yeah.
you idiot. But I I love my animals
You
just as
do.
much as my
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
I and it What happened with Monkey is proof of that. I almost lost my mind like three times.
Wow.
Um, my I lost 15 pounds. Don't
Oh my
worry, I gained it
gosh.
back. Nothing changed. But over 3 weeks, I lost 15 pounds.
Oh my
I wasn't
gosh.
eating. I was hardly sleeping. I was posting on Facebook and all different types of social media to different websites for the areas, the towns
Mm-hmm.
around us. I was out in our landscape. We now live on a mountain in Milford. We own 22 acres of land.
Mm-hmm.
I was all over the mountain. I met all of our neighbors left and right down the roads. I mean, under extreme duress. Half
Mm-hmm.
of them saw me crying when I introduced
Oh,
myself. Like, I was a mess. I hired dog trackers. I hired remote spiritual and Reiki healers
oh my gosh.
that claimed to like be able to communicate with my animal
Yeah.
to confirm that he was still alive and it wasn't a lost cause. Like, I I lost my mind. I was like, and I remember having the conversation with Nicole where she was like, I don't know what to do for you. I don't know how to help you.
Right. Right.
And I was like, you know what? I don't either. I'm sorry I'm like this. If it was that, you know, he had died, or if I found him and he was dead,
Mm-hmm.
that would be one thing. I'd have
Right.
closure.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know where he is. I don't know if he needs me. I don't know if he's hurt or scared
Right.
or what. And that is what drove me the most. Like, I mean, both to look for him and just
Yeah.
in general, not to stop worrying about him. And mind you, here's the kicker: we did find him. So you know the end of the story, and you're not like, what happened? I did find him 22 days later, but the miraculous part of the story is my cat Monkey is blind in one eye. He
Mm-hmm.
has no claws, no teeth, and no meow. And he was out in the wilderness with bears, fox, and coyote, probably with, playing with chipmunks and squirrels and stuff too, but
Right.
those don't count. Um, and he still survived. When I found him, he had a broken leg because something had attacked his back leg. He was half his weight and he couldn't move, or like he was totally dehydrated. So it, it was truly a miracle that we found him. That's why if you go onto Facebook and look for him, we call him Monkey the Miracle Kitty.
Do you know
But
how hard this like hits me right now? Not only because I know how much monkey means to you, but like I have two kittens now.
I
I have
see,
two
so you
kittens.
have the background blurred,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
can see like a
Uh-huh.
blur jumping up and down
Uh-huh.
behind you.
Yep. I have two kittens, Hamilton and Burr. Yes, that's their names. Uh-huh. And they're my two boys. They're 8 months old and they're both getting the snippy snips very soon. And yeah, like and listening to you tell that story, all I'm sitting here and I'm like in my head, I'm like, I swear to God, like Hamilton won't go anywhere because he's just like he when I tell you he is a manic, like panicky cat, like he's not gonna go anywhere. I don't have to worry about, but Burr would jump out of this door in a heartbeat, and I'm
Effing Burr.
every time. And so, like as you're telling that story, I'm thinking of I'm like Burr. I swear to God, you know I hate you, but I love you to death, and I will do anything for you. And if you go out that door and I have to search for you for 22 days, I swear to God, I'm gonna love the shit out of you, but I'm gonna hate you.
And
I'm
people
gonna
were
hate you
like
for it.
everybody that I talked to, they were like, well, people's cats have gone missing for like 4 or 6 months. I'm like, if this cat is gone for 6 months, I'm gonna die. I am going to die. The fact that it lasted 3 weeks was like enough for me. That's all my body could handle. Thank God I found him.
Oh my
Because if it
gosh.
lasted like months, forget it. Forget
Yeah.
it. I'd be dead.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you found him. Like how far away from the house was he?
So, like I said, we live on a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a quarter mile from the road, and then if you go a little further up our mountain, at the very top, there's a cell phone tower,
Mm-hmm.
and it's surrounded by a chain link fence.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up there to lay a safety trap and some food, and even then, like I said, I lost 15 pounds. But
Mm-hmm.
even then, like I didn't have the energy to hike up there. So
Yeah.
when I got to the top, I was winded.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to put my stuff down and walk the perimeter, see where the best place is to put this trap. And as I was walking around the gated area, I saw this like gray tuft on the back, in the back of the building. He was just laying on a cement slab where like the air conditioner unit was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God. I
Oh
was
my
elated.
God.
He was really like, what is it, like maybe another quarter mile up the mountain, so close to the house. And I was going like, I mean, when I put posters up, I was going to
Uh-huh.
Frenchtown
Oh
and Alpha, and
my.
these are like driving like 10,
Right.
15 minutes away. So this little asshole is up at the top of the
He's
hill.
like, hey, so I'm up
I
here. You need
mean,
me? He's like, you need me? I'm up
granted,
here.
right. Granted, it was like 3 weeks, so he probably wasn't there the whole time.
Right,
But
right, right.
to find him there, one, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, thank God. Second
Mm-hmm.
time, I was like,
Well, I'm glad he's okay because I mean like you're right to survive like all of that, like the food situation, the attacks, the other, all of that stuff, and to survive and to like that's a badass cat.